Hey everyone, it's Jonathan, and welcome to kind of a mini episode. Today we're talking about a prequel to last year's feature film The Bad Guys with The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday. This one started out as part of a longer episode, as part of the mini-series on the 2023 Christmas specials I'm doing with Katie Fabrick. I decided to pair the Bad Guys special from Netflix with a Batman special from Prime Video, except, unbeknownst to me, Merry Little Batman turned out to be a whole entire movie, and when I started watching it, I knew it needed its own dedicated episode, which left The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday kind of in limbo. I don't think there are any other specials anywhere I could pair this with. I did Apple TV Plus specials in the last episode, and I'll be closing out the season with Disney Plus specials, and I didn't see anything else on the other streaming services I could stick this with. So I decided that rather than try to fit this somewhere it didn't fit, I'd just let it be its own mini episode. So I didn't really know what to expect going into this Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday special.
Hmm.
I figured it would not be as good as the original, and I was correct.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm like disappointed with it or anything because I figured it wouldn't be that good.
Yeah.
And it's not to say this is bad, even though it says it's a very bad holiday.
It's got too bad in the title.
Yes. But like, I think it kind of is a basic holiday special in that it's just something you could throw on in the background during the holidays if you want to have like a playlist of holiday specials.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is one that would be like appointment television. We must watch this every year. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I was okay. I can't even be that like disappointed or whatever
Hmm.
because it's a different animation studio, they kind of have to throw together this and I'm not trying to tear down anyone who worked on it, but there's a difference between having a movie budget and having a budget for a short, and then
Yeah.
how you capture the style of that. And I think just for me personally, like I knew it wasn't going to probably be the same like style with the 2D on top or anything like that because that's a lot more work.
Hmm.
Um, so like I wasn't disappointed. I think mainly the substance of the story was a little weak.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's because it's like, oh, this is before the movie. So like we can't really even have much character development.
Yeah, because all the character development from the movie is non-existent because this is a prequel.
Hmm. I'm wondering if it wasn't a prequel, it might have been a more interesting story.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Like maybe it's like, okay, it's our first time on Christmas where we're going to try to do the right thing, but they like completely don't understand. I know that's also like another basic story. So like I think it just depends on the writing, and I feel like for this the writing just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, me too. And I will say, even though like one of the biggest disappointments is the fact that none of the original voice cast reprised their roles for this.
Hmm.
But I think they got decent voice matches for most of them.
Yeah. No one ever took me out of the short and I'm like, oh, that's not, like, oh, that doesn't sound like them at all.
Yes. The only one that I would say maybe took me out of it a little was Miss Tarantula, but only because I love Aquafina and I was waiting to see how well the voice match did. And at
Hmm.
the beginning, I'm like obviously can tell that this is not Aquafina. It's somebody doing an Aquafina impression. But I kind of forgot about it as it went on. So
Yeah.
they did a good enough impression of her that it was fine.
Hmm.
One thing that confused me, and I have found no answers. I haven't done a ton of research into this, but at least on Wikipedia, there is no answer to this. At the beginning, it says that this is a Netflix series, like
Okay.
the opening title card.
Yeah.
So, is this the start of a show? There's nothing on Wikipedia about this being turned into a series.
Yeah, that confused me as well. Like, are they planning on doing more bad guy shorts? It's a bit confusing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about a series, so that was weird.
Hmm. No, definitely. I guess maybe they were like, we don't know what to like label it as, but they have like shorts on. Netflix and they don't say series. So I'm not quite sure why they did that.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, even though the writing wasn't as good as the movie, I thought they had a decent idea for the story. I
Yeah.
think they probably could have, I mean, it could have been better, but like the basic idea of the story, I think is a good one for a short like this because you're back before the bad guys turned good. So the plot of this is that they are planning a huge heist on Christmas because everybody's going to be busy with Christmas. But then they accidentally destroy a giant Santa balloon that apparently the city is freakishly emotionally attached to, which that cracked me up.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of the whole thing was the giant Santa balloon bursting into flames. That that got the biggest laugh out of me of the whole short.
It was fun that it had that, like, it did capture some of it kept to the humor of the movie. Like, it wasn't like we're going to resort to cheap jokes and stuff. Like, it kept to the humor of the original movie, which I enjoyed.
Hmm. But yeah, with this Santa balloon that everybody loves gone, the whole city decides to cancel Christmas. Well, okay. Whatever. So now they have to like find a way to restore the spirit of Christmas so that everybody will be busy on Christmas so they can rob again, which is a clever idea for this kind of a short.
Yeah.
So they end up doing a bunch of elaborate crime-ish things to bring holiday cheer to the city, like breaking into people's homes to leave presents that they stole from elsewhere. But then towards the end, it gets ridiculous. They accidentally caused a giant blizzard, like a snow tornado thing with a snow cone machine.
Hmm.
Okay. But then Tarantula saves the day with this cyborg Santa thing that she built. And she sends Wolf in to take out the machine by piloting this thing Pacific Rim style. Although I guess Pacific Rim had two pilots, didn't it? So it wasn't quite
Yeah.
that, but same idea. Like
Yeah.
he moves in the machine and it moves with him. It was all made to be way more dramatic than it needed to be. And then in the end, they save Christmas, but then get sick, so they can't do crimes on Christmas.
Yeah.
But I did like that while they're at home sick, they realize that they've been left presents by Santa for their good deeds and they're upset about it. And they want to get revenge on Santa to get back on his naughty list.
Yeah, that was funny. Like it had some good jokes. I think just like all in all, like it was a bit basic, so like
Hmm.
it was fine. It was good enough, but I don't know how many times I'm gonna watch it again, you know?
Yeah, I probably won't ever watch it again.
Hmm.
It was fine to watch once. I mean, if
Yeah.
somebody wanted to watch it, like if you watch the Bad Guys movie and somebody wants more, then there is this. So that's something. It's just not one that I'm probably gonna eagerly go
Yeah.
back to for myself.
Yeah. I do remember when that came out, a bunch of people like there was a big complaint about how it didn't look like the movie and that people said that the animation was really bad. And just in defense of it, I think that the animation is not terrible. I think
No, it was fine.
yeah, it was fine. It's a bit more, it didn't have quite the snappiness to it that I think the movie had.
Hmm.
And my only real complaint was I just like their faces didn't emote much.
I did feel like the faces weren't as good as in the original movie, but they were
And
close
like, yeah.
enough that
Hmm.
it didn't bother me.
I just remember one time during the big climax, they were like, ah, we're being attacked. And I'm like, why do you all still look like you're smiling? Like they didn't quite look upset enough, I think. Like the models, or just because they didn't have like the 2D effects on them, I think the expressions just didn't come across as strong as I think they were intending it for them to be.
Hmm.
So I think like if I had any complaint about the short as a whole, that's probably like I wish that their faces maybe emoted a little bit. I thought it was a bit strange and a little stiff, but other than that, I think that the animation like
Hmm.
worked well enough and all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a TV budget. but
Yeah.
I think that the animation was better than it could have been. Like
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen
most
some
definitely.
like severe downgrades from the
Yeah,
original movie, and this
exactly.
was close enough that it didn't bother me. Like I
Hmm.
think my main issue was the script was a little bit more boring than I would have wanted, but
Hmm.
I didn't have high hopes to begin with, which is maybe helps it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, it was fine. If you're a fan of the bad guys, then this is, I guess, a nice little extra thing that you wouldn't have otherwise, because I don't know that they've announced any sequels to the movie. But yeah, this is nice for fans of the show, but I don't think it'll be on my holiday rotation.
Yeah. What you should do is you watch this first and you're like, oh, that was fun. And then you watch the movie and then your mind will be completely blown.
Yeah, yeah. The movie is definitely much better than this. I love the Bad Guys movie. That was
Yes,
one of
it's
my
so
favorites
good.
from that year.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess this will probably be all for this one. This is a much shorter thing than we normally do, but it kind of didn't really fit with the other things, and I still wanted to cover it because it was one of the, I guess, big specials of the year.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I figure it's fine just being a little mini podcast on its own.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we will be back with more specials in another episode. But until then, do you want to let people know where they can find you if they want more from you?
Yeah, you can find me at Katie Draws Things on Instagram and Twitter. I draw things and I've got some pretty cool projects coming up. So check those out there.
Okay, we will see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to iHeart Animation. If you like what you've heard, make sure to subscribe on your preferred podcast platform or to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow my co-host as well, and if you want more content from us, check out one of the other podcasts in the iHeart Movies Podcast Network, or check out my brand new Patreon. My link tree, as well as any other relevant links, will be in the description. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.